Welcome to this week's discussion on Use Your Words. If you have ever brought up a child, you probably told them to use their words at one time or another. They will just moan and groan with a pointed finger to tell you what they want. We want them to learn how to use their words to communicate. It is all about growing up and being able to say what they want and how they feel by using their words. As we get older, we use words for much more than that. Why are words so important? Words play a role in keeping every one of God's commandments. 5 of the commandments especially can be broken simply by using words. For example, let's look at these 5 commandments. The second commandment tells us to not take the name of God in vain. How do you use the name of God? Do you only use God's name when praying, or is it your habit to use God's name in vain when you're angry or when something is going wrong? The fourth commandment says to honor your father and mother. When things don't go your way due to something your parents have done or said, how do you react and how do you respond? Many parents and their children go to their graves without speaking to each other. Many will say things to each other that they will later regret and either do not know how to ask for forgiveness or to forgive the offender. It is all about our words and how we use them. The sixth commandment tells us not to commit adultery. That is not done with words directly, but it begins with a conversation that can lead to the commitment of this sin. It may not be what we say, but more how it is interpreted. Are we using words to create a temptation situation? The eighth commandment tells us not to bear false witness against our neighbors. Our words lead us to gossip, perhaps even to make up things about another that are not true. When we lie with our own words, we deny ourselves in denial of reality in order to appear better to another. We destroy reputations with words. When we talk about others, whether falsely or honestly, both can be destructive. There are things we should keep to ourselves. We don't have to lie, but we don't have to say more than is necessary. There is a reason that God gave us all 2 ears and only 1 mouth, and sometimes even that is too much. Discipline is opposite to addiction. When we are not speaking the truth, we become addicted to lies. Speak honestly and lovingly, but don't say more than is needed. Words have tremendous powers. The same words can comfort some and anger others depending on who says it, how they say it, or why they say it. Words can begin wars and can bring peace. The wrong word to a loved one can be devastating, while the same comment to someone else may go unnoticed. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God created the world with words. A word can bring encouragement or despair. This discussion you are listening to now, I pray, can bring comfort to those with faith, but can be rejected by those who do not accept God. God calls all of us to love one another as He loves us. That can be both accomplished and destroyed by the same use of the tongue. The book of James talks quite a bit about the pros and cons of the tongue. From James chapter 3, verses 4 through 6, we hear this. It is the same with ships. Even though they are so large and driven by fierce winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot's inclination wishes. In the same way, the tongue is a small member and yet has great pretensions. Consider how small a fire can set a huge forest ablaze. The tongue is also a fire. It exists among our members as a world of malice, defiling the whole body and setting the entire course of our lives on fire, itself set on fire by Gehenna. In the same chapter, we hear this in verses 8 and 9. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless the Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who are made in the likeness of God. It is also important how your words are used. You could say the same thing to 2 people with totally different responses. We must be aware of context. I was filling up someone's ice cream cone and asked if this was enough. I knew that the person I was preparing it for did not eat very much, and my intent was only not to waste the ice cream. The recipient of the ice cream cone was not happy that I had asked and said he would do it himself because he thought I wanted it all for myself. It may be a trivial example, but we do have to be careful that the speaker and listener are on the same page so that the intent of the words spoken be received as they were intended. Who in your life needs to hear a good word from you today? Do you know someone that needs to hear you say, I am sorry? Or is there someone you need to tell, I forgive you? Is there anyone you know that is in a situation that might need a word of encouragement from you? Remember that your words can both encourage or discourage. Words can be very powerful, so they should be used with care. Words from a loved one are even more sensitive than from an acquaintance, but both need the correct words. Is there someone that might have wronged you and you are thinking they should apologize first? Is it so important to make sure everyone knows you are right? It is far more important for you to just love. Have a blessed week. If you would like to receive a notification for these weekly discussions, please subscribe below. You can also feel free to share any comments.